Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast, episode 13, Lucky 13. We back at it after, I guess, what, 3 weeks off? We took a 3 week hiatus, two?
Come on now.
We got the Super Bowl. We got Toy Fair. Man, there was a lot of things going on.
We definitely took it off because of the Super Bowl. You know, we didn't expect people to come fuck with us over the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, let's keep it real. We're not trying to fight that.
And then Toy Fair, me and Emiya both was at Toy Fair, and then everybody else was still pretty busy too. And then now here we are. I guess it was 2 weeks, not 3 weeks, right?
Do I sound like a robot?
No, you're good. It was just 2 weeks, I think. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, our regular cast is here. My man calling them Crackers.
Yo.
We got Emiya Starlock. We got Pharaoh Black on the road. He just got finished pouring himself out for the evening. He's heading home.
Yep.
And we got my man Rick Dom, so we here. What's good?
Man, what everybody been up to this past 2 weeks, man? What you been up to, Boog? It's been 2 weeks, 2 long weeks without the viewers.
I don't know, man. I can't remember fucking yesterday, so I don't know. You know, we had the Super Bowl weekend. I didn't do nothing crazy for Super Bowl. I didn't really care about either team that was in the Super Bowl, but I did watch the game. I just stayed home and watched the game with my girl. And Toy Fair week was cool. I got to meet up with Emiya and a couple of other people that came out to the city, so that was real cool. And I guess I picked up a bunch of stuff in between the last 2 weeks. Some of the most notable stuff, I guess, is the SH Figure Arts Captain Phasma. I got a few figures out of the Red Onslaught wave. Finally, I've been kind of snoozing on that wave and the Spider-Man, the Absorber-Man wave. But I got a few figures out of that. I actually got some free shit from Toy Fair, so that was cool. I got a free Taskmaster from the Hasbro panel, so that was cool.
Nice.
And Emiya got a bunch of free shit from Toy Fair too, didn't you?
Yeah, he said some of it was offerings to Boognubis himself.
I didn't get that much stuff. It was only just like some statues and some action figures, that type of stuff.
But I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember everything that I bought over the past 2 weeks. I guess we didn't talk about. Oh yeah, we did talk about the Hulkbuster. That was like right before our hiatus, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Come back to me, but I got a lot of shit. I did get a lot of shit over the past couple of weeks, though. Pharaoh,
I got the 3 Phasmas. I don't know. I don't think I got like a lot of like odds and ends, man. I didn't get nothing major. It really wasn't nothing major for me to grab or whatever. I got I went ahead and snatched that fucking Captain America, that Marvel Select, because the Disney store gave me a $20 coupon for my birthday or whatever. So I went ahead and grabbed that. I haven't gotten it yet. It'll be here tomorrow. But that and
which cap is that from the Disney store?
It's I don't even know what appearance that is. He's the one. He has a chin strap. He came out with the Spider-Man and the fucking Black Panther. I don't know.
It's the Avenging Cap.
Avenging Cap. That's what it is. I went in and snatched that. I don't really do Marvel Selects, but they fit in kind of well with the re-edited Iron Man figures.
Mm. Well, we know that Marvel Select always got some nice props and shit. You know, speaking of that, I was just opening up some of the World Tournament prizes for people that wanted their shit loose, and some of those Gotham figures was part of the swag or whatever. And yo, the props that came with those Gotham figures was nice as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I was just seeing the Ghostbuster figures at comic shops, and the ones with the actual bases and backdrops, and they look kind of nice. But I wanted to snatch them up, but I'm not really sure how far that line's really going to go. If they're going to finish it out or not.
Well, it looks
Well, you're going to need 12 figures to build the diorama.
I think it's 9. I think it's 9. Is it 12?
I just talked to Punker Mike yesterday, and he said it was 12. I thought it was 9 too.
Damn, what the
See,
fuck?
even at 9 or 12, you realize they're only releasing 3 at a time, and those 3 have been sitting at Toys R Us without the basis for a minute, and now it just gets into the comic shops. Like I said, I don't really know if they're going to continue them or do like Sin City and pretty much just cut that shit short.
Well, I was actually with my man Dave BX and my man Chris this on Saturday. We went hunting. We went every fucking way. We was all over the place. And we ended our last stop was at Midtown Comics, and Dave picked up those figures, the Ghostbuster figures or whatever. They look nice, and the base look like it's gonna be dope. The rooftop prop or whatever. But 12 figures? That's a long time, man.
Oh, you know what else? I grabbed the 2 Django Feds, and I didn't keep them. I'm sending one to Chris Lyons and the other one to Japonka's son. And shit, I did grab some more blind box figures. But like I said, I didn't really grab too much.
I'm loving that. Again, I know I'm a little late and shit, but I'm loving that Captain America figure from the Red Onslaught wave. That shit is dope. He's fucking nice, man.
Yeah, against my best wishes, I actually subbed that out for my my face-off cap, because my face-off cap took a dive off the shelf and the wings came off the head, and so I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna put this other classic cap here just in case.
I just said to my man Dave that I think that figure is actually better than face-off cap to me. I think
proportion-wise, I'd agree. Yeah. That face-off cap has that tiny little peanut head.
Yep.
I mean, not to get off subject, but I mean, you can't really shit on him, man. I mean, for the time, though, man.
Oh
yeah, no question.
Like, but most definitely that new Captain America is really, really, really nice. So, I mean, I'm excited for even the Captain America figures they showed at Toy Fair. Period.
Yeah,
I like all of them.
Yeah, but we'll get to the Toy Fair stuff.
We'll get to that.
I'm just saying. I'm just, Captain America he doing some dope shit this year. I'm just saying.
Well, I'll go next real quick for my hauls. I got Mezco Dread a couple weeks ago, I think right before we went on hiatus, and it is nice. I love it. I had to order it from the comic shop because they only had the PX one, like I told you guys, so they ordered me the
which one?
Regular version. The PX one's the one with the cloak and the blue, silvery blue suit. The regular one's just the black suit. So I waited and got that one. They gave me a pretty good price on it because they bought several. So I paid a little less than the sticker price, which I'm always happy about.
You gonna pick up the bike when it come out?
You know what? I just might, because I didn't know it had lights and sounds. Just because of that, I might have to get it.
That shit took you back to your childhood right there. It's like lights and sounds.
Let's see. I finished out the Red Onslaught wave. Same thing. Comic Bug had the last 4 I needed, so I went and picked them up real quick. It's a nice Build-A-Figure, I gotta say. I can't wait for that classic Magneto helmet head.
Yeah, a lot of people jump
the figure itself.
A lot of people jumping the gun, making their own Magneto head and shit.
Yeah. Even the old Toy Biz Magneto helmet works okay if you fudge it right.
Yeah, I seen a kid do that on a page today.
Right. And then I finished out, I'm about to finish out Absorbing Man Wave. Everything except Gwen, because I don't really care for that. First of all, Gwen, and I don't care for the ball and chain piece that she comes with, because it's just a shitty gray plastic, just totally flat, doesn't even make sense with the actual figure. So I just put him with the Thunderball piece from the old Wrecking Crew figure. And the deco on that one matches much, much better. So it's actually basically identical. So if you have that old ball and chain from Thunderball and Pile Driver, then that's going to work a lot better.
I was searching hard for that Gwen figure this weekend and shit. I couldn't find it, man.
Man, I'll probably find it and pass up on it like 10 times and not want it till like it's completely gone and never attainable again.
Surprisingly, I saw a bunch of Mockingbirds. I picked up one of those, but I couldn't find Gwen.
And the only one I'm not going to get from that wave is the Venom, because I already have the Marvel Select Venom. There's really no point in doubling up on that. I mean, I don't really care for I don't mind the scale that much for the Marvel Select one, so I'm okay keeping it. So Christopher Adams goes by Skanking Chris on Instagram. He's actually going to send me the 2 Absorbing Man heads from the Absorbing Man Venom, so I don't have to actually buy the Venom. So big ups to him. Thanks for that. He's going to send me that pretty soon.
I see your man Cardell Kidd just posted a picture with that Venom with the A.C.B.A. tendrils. It looks nice.
And that brings me to yesterday. I went to Frank and Son with the A.C.B.A. West Coast fam. Met out with all the guys. There was a big post on Instagram that we did about it. I'm not going to name everybody because it was a lot. But I got myself the NECA Ultimate Striker Eureka, which is a fucking fine piece. I have the original Striker Eureka, and when you compare the two, they just seem like completely different figures. Like, the detailing and the sculpting on this new version is so much better. The colors, the deco, the absorbing, the accessories on it are just top notch. It's literally a scaled down version of the 18-inch one that they did. So all the details that were in that, minus like the lights and sounds or whatever it has, are basically on this small figure. And again, when you compare them side by side, it's just like a kid's toy versus a true adult collector piece. So it's really nice, and I got it for $20, which is a little less than retail. I also got another T1000, but just to keep in package, just in case. I got the NECA cult classic Shaun from Shaun of the Dead for like $20, which was really nice. I love that movie. It's completely a static piece, but I love that movie so much, and it has some pretty neat accessories. So I was happy picking it up. And finally, I got a couple WWE figures. I got Finn Balor basic. I got the Sheamus basic, and I got the new Xavier Woods and the New Day garb.
Dude, I can't find that damn Finn Balor or that Xavier Woods to save my life.
What's up with that Paul Bearer? I see your man Mike Amsberg just posted.
Yeah. They were actually just selling that whole wave at Frankenstein yesterday. They wanted like $20 for each basic. You're not gonna pay $80, $75 or whatever for just the build a figure. I wait for that to hit retail, but
I thought that was like a Walmart exclusive or something.
Yeah, that too. And then the next build a figure after that is something else. I think it's Mean Gene Okerlund. They just announced it like today or yesterday.
Yeah, they just showed him with the khaki pants.
Right.
Is he still alive? No, right?
He is, yeah.
He is?
Mm-hmm.
It's Paul Bearer that passed away, right?
Right. Yeah, the Undertaker's Crypt Keeper, something or other.
Manager, father, Crypt Keeper. He was many things.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy. But I'm gonna actually customize that Finn Balor and put him on an Elite body because the Elite Finn Balor that's coming out is actually in the Demon paint, and I really want a regular one too. So I know Matt Goldberg did a really good custom of that. I'm gonna have to get the recipe from him.
Yeah, I seen somebody customize that, they take off the head and then they put the regular head and have it so they paint it so that the paint is fading away from his face.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, it looks really sick.
I like that.
That's dope.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that it's hard to find because right after we went to Frankenstein, we went out to get some food. Me, Punker Mike, Josh Cheney, and Mike's fiance, and we stopped in at the Toys R Us right next door where we were eating, and they had the Sheamus and the Xavier Woods, and I'd just seen them at Frankenstein for $15, $20, and I managed to get them for retail price there, $10. So it was pretty cool. And he got himself, Punker did, he got Big Boss Man, which just came out.
Oh yeah, that Big Boss Man. Everybody's gonna be wanting to army build it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got some good accessories too, and I also saw that Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the first appearance Triple H one.
Oh man,
that just made me laugh.
the French aristocrat Hunter
Right.
Helmsley.
The blue blood.
Why would you want 10 fat cops though? It's why would you want to army build fucking Big Boss Man?
So you can make the NYPD. They're all fat cops, aren't they?
I guess.
Yeah, but that's about it for me. I haven't really gotten anything else besides that. I guess one last weird thing is on NECA's eBay, they sell packs of their stands for $10 a piece, or you can get 5 packs of stands for $35. So I just got that.
Are these those new stands that they just put out, or this is something that they already have? Or the new stands?
Oh no, these are the regular display stands with the peg hole for 1 foot. They're nice clear acrylic.
So your man George from the Two's company, Three's a podcast. He reviewed. He was actually at Toy Fair with us this past week. He reviewed some new stands that NECA's got coming out.
Yeah, I've seen those. They look really nice, and they have suction cups, so you can stick them to the side or the top of your detolfs if you want to have flying poses in there.
Yeah, they seem like
nice and sturdy. I mean, if it's for a 7-inch figure, it's got to be a little more durable than an import stand.
You ain't about to hide that shit though, but it seems like a quality stand though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more for shelf display than I'd say doing photos with it, but you can still fudge it somehow.
What about you, Emiya? What you picked up?
What did I pick up? There's a bunch of stuff that came while I was gone. Just all the usual stuff. I haven't even opened yet because I've been so busy since I got back. Just boxes from Sideshow and Japan and stuff like that. I mean, the only thing I really had a chance to really mess around with was actually something I got before I went to New York was the Gentino Ultraman 1/6 scale figure.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a really nice figure. Besides that, yeah, nothing else. Nothing else much really. Just been so busy, so haven't really had a chance to really do anything.
I know these past 2 weeks been kind of nuts for you in particular.
Yeah, so I was in Japan and then I came back here and right I came back here, went straight to New York, and then yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, I grabbed stuff when I was in Japan, this exclusives and stuff, and they just shipped it all back. So yeah, yeah, nothing much beyond that. Just the usual, I guess.
Rick?
Shit. I grabbed I think the only thing within the last 2 weeks, the only American stuff I've gotten within the last 2 weeks was I got one of the Jango Fets. My Jango Fett, man, pissed me off. Came from Amazon, and that thing is a bitch to get. And I got one on Amazon, and there's like blue paint like smeared on the helmet, and I'm just, fuck, man, what the hell am I gonna do now? I'm not trying to go through the trouble of finding another one. I got a Taskmaster and a Scourge. I love that Taskmaster.
Yeah, Taskmaster's nice.
Put that Pharaoh cape on it. That he took from Vision. Put something like that on it.
I'm not a fan of the cape on Taskmaster, honestly.
What else I got? I got fucking Whirlwind. I only got a few things from the Onslaught wave. I'm not really loving the entirety of it, but it's a good wave. It's a good wave. I just don't need Sharon Carter.
Oh, that's the worst figure in the wave, no question about it.
I want all I need now is just the cap and the Mockingbird, and I think I'll be fine. I like that cap. A lot of people are hating on that cap, but I thought it was just fine. As far as imports goes, I got just the other day I ordered mine and David Walton's Ironhide. I'm liking the Ironhide. There's some things just like that Masterpiece tracks. There's just little things that they could have fixed themselves, and they would have been great figures, but they were just all right. Once I got them in hand, and I was just annoyed, like, man, they could have fixed so many things on their own.
Oh yeah, I forgot I got that too. I didn't transform it yet. It's been in fucking card mode since I got it.
Yeah, it's a good figure. It's really nice size. The plastic feels nice. It's just like tracks. There was just one little thing you needed to do, and it would have been perfect. But,
yeah.
Again, for whatever reason, they just didn't do it themselves.
Probably because it's Ironhide.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, well, yeah, Ironhide tracks. I got some of the other figures people already got. I get my stuff at the end of the month. So I don't get them like when they come out like Pharaoh and others do from Ami. So like I barely got my Bruce Lee and my Obi-Wan and stuff like that because I shipped end of the month, and if something takes
you also you like me, you buy a lot more stuff than those guys.
Yeah, I buy a lot. Yeah, I do.
It's not economical to ship it like as things come out,
Yeah, and so I'm barely getting all of that in.
I got Bruce Lee coming too, finally. But
and then I'm telling you this, that Nendoroid Kirby, oh my god, one of the funnest figures I've ever.
Yeah, it really is. I got a chance to fuck around with it at Toy Fair. It's a really fun figure.
Is that the one with the magnets?
Yeah, magnet.
Oh, nice.
Man, it's incredible. I own a fair amount of Nendoroids, and there's no question. That's my favorite one.
That's one of those figures that's like. Anybody can enjoy that shit. Like a kid will love that shit, and an adult, like it's a cool figure, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have like this very, very fine and soft rubber over the body, so when you're moving the magnets around to whatever place, they don't scratch up the figure. And you can literally put any limb anywhere all over the body. There is no place that doesn't adhere with the magnet. So it's all like a soft metal coating under that very fine rubber or whatever it may be that they have over the body, and it's a really, really nice figure.
It's a good price point too.
Yeah, it's a great price point. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but can you not hear Pharaoh? I see his lips moving sometimes, but I don't. I don't hear you.
You're a little low yourself, actually. I don't know if you want to turn up your volume or if you just sit far from the mic or what, but you're just a little bit low.
Okay.
Well, I can't hear Pharaoh, but that's probably for the best.
Oh man, there it goes. Yeah, that's as far as I've been. Like everything interesting that I've gone. I went to a couple conventions. Got some cool deals at the dealers hall and stuff like that. But nothing too crazy that I can be like, yeah, motherfucker, I got this for this. I got one of those JoJo's figures for like I think it was like $5-10.
So you didn't find McFarlane Spidey for $1 and no shit like that?
Man, I found a McFarlane Spidey for 12 cents flat.
I don't know, man. I think I got the best haul, man. I found all those hot toys for 50 cents each.
Yeah, he went to Goodwill. He found Hot Toys 50 cents each.
Right.
It's just a genius deal,
And it wasn't just that. I also found that Power Girl, premium format statue for 50 cents too.
Yeah, dude, there's this guy on one of those pages. I think it's Action Figure Junkies. This dude posted up a picture of like a Figma Link, like a Play Arts Kai Cloud, like a brand new one and shit. And he was claiming he found them all at Goodwill for like $30. It was crazy. I think Pharaoh saw the post too. It was ridiculous. I found this link at Goodwill and all these things, $35. Like, what the hell?
Is the mic on?
Yeah, now I could hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard Colonel Long-Winded Crackers over there actually talking about not wanting to hear somebody. Like,
Damn.
okay.
No, we were just talking about that dude, that found that great deal, that link. And
Oh
the Samus
man,
and
that
the cloud.
shit is ridiculous, man. These dudes with all these dumbass fines.
Found this
I
at
don't get it.
Goodwill.
Hey, you know what's crazy, Rick? And I was glad Emiya posted that picture because it's like, for you to even buy certain figures, you got to know what you're buying.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And
just to
it's
even
very
be like, oh, I'll buy these for $3. Like, fuck out of here, man.
and it's very specific. Like, although I don't believe it myself, there is a lot of people that, that could, and I've seen right in front of my eyes, find a McFarlane figure for super cheap. That's plausible. But don't fucking come here showing me Figmas and Figuarts. Like, yeah, $3 each. I went to the flea market with my friends, and my friend right in front of me at a booth found McFarlane Spider-Man for $10. But that's a McFarlane Spider-Man. It's not a fucking Play Arts Kai variant Superman for 10 cents.
Yeah, most definitely. Because I went to a Family Dollar, and I had to go to the laundromat when our washer froze over, and it was a kid in there that had a McFarlane Spider-Man, and he was just swinging around. So I said, God damn, this kid has a McFarlane Spider-Man, and I'm not gonna lie, like evil mode went in. I'm like, man, maybe I can offer this kid like $3 for that. But seriously though, I mean, you see, I'm pretty sure that if his parents ever had a sale or something, that figure would probably be on the table or shit for about $1.50 or $2 or something. I mean, so it happens, man. But come on.
Yes, something that specific, I refuse to believe it. You finding a fucking Hot Toys, a Figma, a Figuarts, like I don't believe that. You telling me you find
What are you
something
talking about, man? I found like 5 hot toys. And
50
that
cents
statue, 50 cents each.
Man, it reminds me of this trend that was going around on Reddit a couple years ago where people were just finding like animals, like, puppies and kittens in trash cans. Like way too many animals just being found in trash cans. And I'm like, I walk by a lot of trash cans and all I see is fucking rats.
I know exactly what you're saying. And then that was a funny Reddit post that made fun of all the people that they claim they find things.
Right.
The guy that found a GameCube and he opened the GameCube and he found money. Like,
It's like a wad of hundreds.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa! But you know what's crazy? I bought a Cutlass Salon back when I was 15, and the police pulled me over and they literally took my door panels off on the inside, and he didn't snap them back correctly. So when I got home and I'm trying to snap this door panel in place and I couldn't, and I dug under there and I literally found $7,000.
What?
Yeah, folded up. That's what was keeping the door panel, the male insert from going inside of the female insert, or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, oh shit. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I left out the part that I found some weed in there too, but the important part was I found $7,000.
Someone was like holding out on his wife for, on his
Pharaoh
buddy.
found the hustle cutlass.
Right.
The hustle
Right.
cutlass.
Hey, you know, Rick, you probably right because there's not a lot of people in the world that has a cutlass salon. You
Yeah.
still have other cutlasses, but not salons.
Some
And then
dude
a
went
little
to
bit after that, 3 guys in pompadours and tracksuits with Italian accents came up to you and be like, "Hey, used guy, did you find our money?"
Hey, man, I was a beast at 15, man. Did nobody run up on me with nothing.
You see me in this cutlass?
Oh. Nah, man. I mean, you know, usually when you find stuff like that, it's just like a myth that people are going to come looking for you. I mean, come on. I mean, even not to get off a subject, but it's a Hummer out here somewhere from one of those BMF dudes that has like $1 million in it. They were talking about that on the interview, and no one even knows who bought this Hummer or what. So somebody's probably riding around in a Hummer right now with $1 million in the door panels.
Oh shit.
So you never know, man. They're not gonna come looking for you, man.
No,
Yeah, that's why you only buy your cars from police impound lots. Just play the lottery till you find money.
Yeah, you're playing the lottery every time. You hope, like, damn, man, I hope this drug dealer got busted.
Right.
And there's a reason the seats inside of this cutlass are so uncomfortable.
Right. You only buy cars from people named Skinny Low and shit.
Like, oh man, and there's seats. It feels very blocky. Cut it open, a bunch of saran wrap money.
Just wait till you get a car that belonged to a scalper. He's just got carded figures stuffed inside the car, making up the stuffing of the seat.
The back seat is a bunch of mint on cards McFarlane Spider-Mans.
I'll find a car with a bunch of NECA figures and a picture of Randy and Fabio ass naked.
Man.
If it's a picture of Randy, it's the current Randy with the long hair and the beard, because he's literally like Toy Jesus. All he needs is a little halo above his head.
Man, people, we've been giving him so much shit for weeks. Look at 15 weeks now giving shit to Randy,
Man, I'm gonna give that man shit until I get a fucking John Connor.
Let's be perfectly honest, man. This dude Randy is nothing in comparison to the shit that we've seen for the past few days from McFarlane.
Oh man,
that man is absolutely insane.
Yeah, we gotta thank Shartimus Prime for that.
Those dudes like, I don't care if there's no articulation. I just want something spawn. I'm like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, you want something Spawn? There's been hundreds of figures of Spawn. Go buy one of those. It's not like there's nothing Spawn.
From the early 2000s. It's the same shit you about to get right now.
He means
those color tops. They're a whole new line.
He means well. He just doesn't see the big picture though. I mean, it's no sense in having a figure in a already pre-posed and then giving it cut joints. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that shit?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Dude wants to have static figures from '93 till infinity.
I was just talking about it with Emiya. Like, it's okay that you don't like articulation. Just make your shit statues. But don't give us a fucking weirdly posed figure with swivels and shit. Just give us a statue. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then talk about how fully articulated figures are only meant to quote unquote stand in one pose anyway. Like, what bullshit is that?
It's the
I can't believe that Russ didn't yo, you can't be sucking someone so much that you're not gonna tell them what's real. Like, you gotta be like, nah, Todd, people don't want that shit. What are you doing?
I do kind of respect Shartimus for not totally, because I know it. You can see it in his face. He was like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?"
Oh yeah, in his face the whole time.
You can't be disrespectful to the guest and be like, "All right, this interview's done because you're out of line."
He's looking at the camera and he's like,
You don't want to be disrespectful. I mean, but you have to understand, just because you question or tell someone really what you're doing is probably not the best thing for you to do. It's not disrespectful at all. You have to understand that the majority of the fans really want to see articulated Spawn figures. So, I mean, you will see how many of those figures he actually sells as fucking statues. When they first come out, people are going to do like anything. They're going to buy some shit, and then that shit's going to dry up.
Well, yeah. I mean, as soon as the first reviews come out, then that's going to be it.
Yeah, and I mean, he said that in the video he made showing that the figure is supposedly going to have an amazing 15 points of articulation. He even went as far as to say that he was going to downgrade some of them to 10 points of articulation when he felt it needed to be downgraded. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think the main thing that has to be said here is mostly the fact that I'm a firm believer of if you're gonna do articulated figures, you do articulated figures. You do statues. I don't think there's something that's kind of in between. Especially with the type where you're basically sculpting a statue, but then you're just adding joints in later. I mean, you're kind of already destroying the sculpt by doing so. The way you create action figures generally these days, you're supposed to have a neutral, sculpt, and then you lay an articulation scheme on top of it, basically.
But yeah,
That's why you have bucks and stuff like that. What happened?
no, I'm saying there's no way that you can be making figures in this day and age, and you're not looking at what the other companies are doing. So you've got to know.
He's 100% about the art, so I understand where he's coming from. I just think that for the market that he's trying to go for, which is the action figure crowd, then he should try to hire other people. I think he has too much influence and too much of his personal feelings in the company, and I think it would be better if he hired other guys who are better designers as far as action figures go, because obviously he can't design them. He's good at doing statues. He's good at doing. I think he should focus more for his input should be focused more on the high end stuff. I mean, he showed off that new medieval Spawn statue. He showed off that new Daryl statue, that Negan statue. Those looked really nice.
Yeah.
And you had like the interchangeable parts and stuff that you can switch out the statue. Very sideshow-esque, and I think that's fine. I mean, there is a place for statue, just like there's a place for action figures.
Yeah, no doubt. He could do it like Kotobukiya is doing right now, where some of their shit's moved, but it's quite obviously a statue though.
Yeah. But I think the problem is this guy is trying to sell them off as action figures when they're essentially just statues with cuts put into them, and that's not an action figure, at least not what the modern one is. And I think what he should do is he should find other guys who've designed action figures, really designed action figures. People who may work for other companies or freelance guys, and he should have those guys design his action figure lines for him.
You know what? Maybe he's just too hands-on with his shit. And
that's his problem. And the guy only cares about the art. Again, he's a comic book artist. As far as he's concerned, he just wants these figures. When he has these things sculpted, they're kind of captured in a moment. He wants to stay that way, but that's not what an action figure. Action figure is supposed to be something where you have a lot of options. You can kind of create moments. You can recreate moments in many different ways, by basically making it, again, you sculpt the figure that's in a neutral stance. He's just standing there. You have an articulation scheme on top of it, and that way you have real range, real articulation. It's not like you have a character that's already in the pose and then they decide, okay, well, we'll put a joint here, put a joint there. Then basically that figure's already meant to be in the pose. There's no way you alter. Of course it's going to look weird. He was using the argument that, they can only stand this way. Yes, your figures can only stand that way because your figures are already sculpted in a certain way. They're meant to stand this way. That's why they can't stand when you move their leg, because the figure's not sculpted in neutral position. It's just sculpted. It's just a statue that has these odd cuts in it that he calls articulation, but it's not.
Yeah, it's crazy because he's only taking his own stuff into account, and you can tell because he's like, when I take one of my figures and I put a lot of joints in them, they can barely move. Like, yeah, dude, of course they can barely move because you sculpt the guy doing like a high kick, and then you give the high kick like a million swivels. Of course, not gonna be fucking able to be posable. Like, of course, man.
That's crazy. Cause I was messing around with some Matrix figures, and I was thinking like, why in the fuck does this figure even move? He's in a jump kick position.
Yeah, exactly.
So why the fuck is his move?
Why is there a joint there? It's a statue. Just run with it. It's supposed to be a statue. It's meant to be a statue. Just leave it at that. There's no reason to try to, I sculpted these statues, but I want to sell them off as action figures, so I'm just going to go ahead and, put the joint here, put a joint there. And in some ways, you're kind of hurting the statuesque quality of it, because now, motherfuckers who collect statues look at, why is there a fucking seam right here? Why is there a seam here? It's just not the way it should be.
This was the closest thing he's ever had to a fully articulated figure, is his Spawn figure.
That's what it is.
Anniversary one?
That's what
Yeah,
everybody's
but
holding on to. It's just that shit, thinking that they're gonna get something at least as good as that. And
you know what's crazy about this? Even with this,
It's not that foldable.
he sculpted it up into the arms. And the arms just don't move.
I mean, his shoulders are like cut joints.
You say what?
The shoulders are like cut joints. They don't move.
Yeah, they're cut jointed shoulders.
Yeah.
Which I didn't understand that for the life of me. I was like, why the fuck did he do that?
And then it's also like the way the joints are put in is very ugly. Like every time you bend his knee, it's like you see these gigantic cuts, and it's not engineered very well.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it right there. It's like he's like he fucking has a gigantic kneecap on or something. It's just
Yeah.
It's crazy to think.
I
all
think
these
a lot
years
of these guys, these more, would you call, it's more like independent companies. I think they all have a little too much input into their stuff. I mean, because...
it's always, not to interrupt you, but you know what's funny about that Spawn figure? What's really funny is that I think he really digged over, because it was part of that other line with all the other image creators, the 10th anniversary.
Right.
And his figure was the only one that had articulation.
Right.
He like dicked everyone else over.
Yeah, the savage dragon.
Yeah, all the other ones. I mean, like it had a Shadowhawk, and Shadowhawk technically of all those characters should have the most articulation, but he had like no articulation.
Shadowhawk was like this, right?
No articulation. Only Spawn's like he was trying to make his own stuff look good. Typical Todd.
I mean, but like I said, a lot of these guys in the independent companies, they have great ideas. I just think that the execution to all of their shit. Well, I don't know, because my biggest thing is with like we all mentioned about Todd and how he feels about articulation and everything, and then on the opposite end of that, you get great figures from NECA, but I think Randy just has the most horrible sense of character selection ever.
Well, Randy's is a guy who's driven by nostalgia. He's big on the nostalgia market.
Yeah, but I don't understand how you're making a product and then turning around and saying, "Well, I'm going to make the product either the way that satisfies me or the things that I want to see." That's
give us an example. What do you mean?
Is doing.
What character selection are you not happy with?
You say what now?
What character selection are you unhappy with? Like, give me an example.
Are we talking about Todd or NECA?
NECA.
Of course we're talking about NECA. Fucking with you, right?
I mean, you said NECA, so I worked up.
I mean, I'm not happy. Okay, basically what I'm saying is this. I'm not happy when I understand the whole thing about licensing, like faces, and people don't want to give their likeness away or whatever. So I understand like why we won't end up with certain characters like Jack Nicholson or whatever else. But when you tell me that, when you can give me a Predator 2 figure and tell me that I can't have a Danny Glover figure, or you tell me that here it is again. I go back to John Connor. I'm really tight about that John Connor figure. I got Sarah Connor. I got the fucking T800 to T1000, but you telling me I can't have John Connor, and you're not even giving me a reasonable explanation. You talk, oh, we don't think it will sell. Fuck out of here! Are you fucking serious, dude? You blowing smoke up my ass right now. That's bullshit.
I'm actually still going to hold out hope for John Connor because I think it's the 30th anniversary of Terminator 2 is this year, and they're re-releasing it in theaters in 3D at the end of the year. And they said they're going to have some surprise reveals for that time of year. Like right now, the first half of the year, they're focusing on T1. They're coming out with the Ultimates for that. But then by the time that the T2 3D is in theaters, they're going to have some new, quote-unquote surprises for that. So I'm holding out hope for that. And same for Aliens, in fact, because there's this like unofficial fan movement to make April 26th Aliens Day, kind of like we have like, May the 4th be with you. But it's like LV 426, 426. And so around that time, we're going to have an Aliens 30th anniversary themed wave. And they're hinting at doing some smart gunners. So we might get either Drake or Vasquez, but I don't know. We have to just wait for that. They're not really talking too much about it.
I mean, maybe so. Like I said, I mean, as long as I use NECA, I go to them for things that I know that most people won't produce, like the God of War figure, stuff like that, the Dante. It's probably the only way I'm going to really get a 7-inch, 6.5, 7.5-inch figure of those characters, so that's fine. But some of the things I just think he wastes time with. I think he wasted his time with those Iron Maiden figures. I think they're a waste of time, in my opinion. I mean, I understand. I don't know. I see those things all over Toys R Us, all stuffed in between two shelves. No one buys them, or it's just certain things. Like he's doing the Weird Al Yankovic figure. Why would you want that?
It's not even just Weird Al. He's doing like the base Weird Al with like the modern and classic head, but then he's also going to come out with like a line of parody outfits for Weird Al. So it's going to be like an entire line of fucking Weird Al Yankovic.
Dude, let me tell you this.
I'm good on that.
I highly doubt that there's a single person on this podcast that loves Weird Al as much as I love Weird Al. But that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It doesn't make any sense.
The only one I really want is the white and nerdy one, because that was my favorite parody of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, like I said, I just don't feel that some of the slots are like warranted. I think it's like
if we was to get a Weird Al figure from like Figma or some shit, and it was like superposable with like a bunch of accessories and shit at once, that might be cool, but not from Necadola.
Not feeling the Dolph style, right?
I don't really see I don't really see how they can't see that that's probably not a smart move. I don't get that aspect of it either.
I think it's just mostly Randy just wanted it done. I think that's just like Todd. Remember back in the day, Todd's favorite movies, that fucking hockey movie, he did those fucking, what was it, Slapshot or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck, even back then, when I first saw him, I was like, why the fuck are they doing figures in this movie? Out of nowhere, like these Slapshot figures, and there was like 3 or 4 different versions of each figure, because, they have the bloody version, like a bloody nose version and stuff like that, so it's the same kind of thing,
But conversely, when it comes to their core lines, like their bread and butter lines, like Alien and Predator, and I guess Pacific Rim, which is, still going pretty strong, however many years after the movie, like, what, 2.5? When it comes to those lines, like, they're going pretty deep as far as the character selection. Like, I'm personally super excited for the Concrete Jungle Predator. That one looks amazing, the one that our boy Aaron Williams painted the prototype for.
You're right, but I'm saying the only reason why those things go as deep as they go is because they can constantly reuse the same damn body. Almost his whole entire, how many years of Predator since he came out with the Predator line? But
Series 15 is about the shit.
Okay, but each time up until this Alien versus Predator thing, for like a year and a half straight or whatever, he used the same exact Predator body.
Yeah, 2 body molds.
Right, and then before that it was the V-cut Predator mold, and he was using that. But it was like, of course, it's easy to do. How many fucking aliens can you have? It's not hard. Okay, let's do it. Alien, let's paint it green, let's paint it red, let's paint it brown, put silver on it, make it clear. Like,
Well, the AVP aliens are definitely brand new, too, just like the AVP Predators were.
Yeah, he makes it pretty clear that the Alien and Predator stuff, they make a lot of money for them. Like, I always consider that stuff, like Terminator, Alien, Predator, Pacific Rim, those things pretty much pay the bills. And then I think the money they make from that's where they fund stuff like,
Right.
What about Bill and Ted? Bill and Ted looks tight.
Yeah, I saw Bill and Ted at Toy Fair, and again, I wasn't really, it didn't impress me, and it didn't make me feel any type of way about it. I thought the movie was fucking stupid even back then, honestly, but, it was some funny parts, some cool parts, I guess, but even I wasn't a fan of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, so I don't know.
The movie was cool, man. When I was a kid, man, it was alright. But I just, like I said, I don't need Bill and Ted, especially being an adult collector. If I'm going to do Bill, I'm going to do Ted, and I might as well do the fucking phone booth. I'm going to need Genghis Khan, and all, you know what I'm saying? You might as well go in on it. So
they are saying that if Bill and Ted do well, they're going to do Rufus. And it already comes with the phone booth and the 2-pack. So
what it is, though, about shit like that is, like, it's very specific. It's very specific for a certain demographic, for a certain, group of collectors and shit. It doesn't have mass appeal. Like, that's the thing about something like that. It's risky as fuck. It's a huge gamble, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. But at least their horror line still goes really strong too, especially the Mego styles. Those do really well in the horror department. Like they got that House of a Thousand Corpses, Captain Spaulding, which they haven't done since like the mid 2000s when they were just static figures. But it's interesting to see it in this cloth format in the clown outfit.
I mean, the horror stuff. I mean, nobody else is going to make a horror figure from you, and I appreciate NECA. I mean, don't get it twisted. I appreciate what NECA does. There's a lot of shit would not be produced if NECA didn't step forward and say, hey, well, we'll take an interest in it and we will bring forth these figures. I just don't understand certain logic with certain shit. That's just pretty much what I'm getting at. I just don't understand why he chooses to do certain figures and not others. But, anyway.
Reuse body molds aside, though, you can't talk shit about those new Kenner Predators. Those look amazing. Those designs are crazy. The glow-in-the-dark Stalker and the white Jungle Hunter.
Why do I give a fuck about a glow-in-the-dark Stalker? Why would the Predator glow in the dark?
If you have lights on your DTOF and you turn that shit off at night, you're going to have a glowing Predator silhouette. How do you not want that, Pharaoh? I just sold you on it. Change that face. I just sold you on it.
I'm saying just because I'm practical. I mean, I don't understand why the fuck the Predator, how do Predators do their thing? They do it by sneaking around. When he's fucking glowing in the dark. Who the fuck you can like what the fuck is that's like the glow in the dark RoboCop. Fuck is he glowing in the dark for?
Yeah. Because it was the 80s, dude, and fighting at night means glowing in the dark. He's the night fighter RoboCop.
I mean, it was the same thing
they're also based on kids' toys. So
right. But Emiya, what I'm trying to say is this: even as a child, I don't know if you remember the Swamp Thing figures. When he had his own cartoon, they had a Swamp Thing line.
Yeah, that was a Kenner line, yeah.
Right, and they had the glow-in-the-dark Swamp Thing. It was the stupidest fucking thing ever. Why the fuck is he glowing? What the fuck is he doing?
He's in a radioactive swamp. He was at a Monsanto runoff pond, and he fell in and got some radioactive shit on him.
It's the exact reason why I hated some of those Batman movies. When you see the Batmobile coming from a mile away, glowing through the turbines, all on the side, the engines glowing and shit. What the fuck is Batman doing? A glowing fucking Batmobile? I don't know.
Wait, Pharaoh, do you mean to tell me that Batman and Robin's techno scenes aren't your favorite thing ever?
Oh man, that shit is. Listen, man.
I mean, when I was a kid, I'm sure
if NECA created a Randy figure and it was a rumor that you could lift up the tunic and you could see his penis, you probably would buy that figure twice. But I'm just saying, I just can't fuck with it. Certain shit.
All right. Well, what else did we like from Toy Fair while we're on the subject?
Oh yeah, we may as well. Boog, sound off. You were there. Your first go.
Toy Fair was. Toy Fair was cool as it normally is because it's just very much. It's way more laid back than Comic-Con. Obviously, I get to hang out with people in a very laid back environment and shit. So I got to see Emiya, I got to see Chartemis, and a couple people and shit. I got to kick it with what's the name from what's this guy's name from Diamond? Zach Old. I got to kick it for a second. And I got to kick it with Dwight and Jesse from Hasbro Marvel. So it's cool in that regard, but I feel like this year, they showed a lot of shit before Toy Fair actually came around. You pretty much knew everything that was gonna be shown at Toy Fair. It was only a few companies that had some things that weren't shown already. So, but anyway, one of the things, I guess, some of the stuff that I saw that I'm excited for. That Kirby was dope. We talked about that already. And Nindroid Kirby was really dope. I think I'm interested in getting that Link figure, the Figma Link figure.
The Between Worlds one?
Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I think I'm definitely interested in getting the Figma Russian soldier. That looked really dope.
Oh yeah, that Russian soldier looks great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what about that too? It's obviously you're gonna use it with your Solid Snake figure, but that shit you're gonna end up using that with Deadpool when they drop the Deadpool figure and other things from Figma. It's gonna be a highly sought after army builder, I think. So that looked cool. From Legends, I'm really excited for that. The Miles Morales Spider-Man and Peter Parker Spider-Man on that new Buck. That looked good. The fucking Nick Fury figure looked amazing in person.
Mm.
The Scarlet Witch figure looked pretty nice, even though I'm not a huge fan of the Legends movie figures, but she looked nice.
I mean, if you swap the head on that one with the classic Scarlet Witch, you could have like a Mighty Avengers Scarlet Witch, basically.
Yeah. Or you could even have just one of the any one of these female characters in street clothes and shit too. That could work. But I don't know. I guess I'm definitely excited for some of the DBZ stuff coming out. But again, we saw all of that stuff. I'm definitely excited for Beerus next month. And,
definitely.
the Super Saiyan Trunks with the new Buck, the Super Saiyan with the armor and everything. That looks fucking amazing. I don't know. What about y'all? What did y'all see?
I like. I'm pretty excited for the icons. Shit, that was it a 7-pack? I can't wait for that fucking thing.
A new 52 one?
Yeah, that looked really nice. I'm not even into the icons line, but if I
My
were to get into it, that'd be a good starting
What are you
point.
talking about? The DC? The Justice League joint.
Yeah, that one and that fucking Batgirl.
Oh yeah, with the bike.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Emiya over there, when he was at Comic-Con, he asked and they confirmed that the bike can come off. And
Off the base.
and if free rolls, yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
cool.
That's
You
the
know, When I saw the Justice League figures, the Batman looked fucking nice. Everything else looked okay to me, but the Batman looked official tissue. So
I think that the other ones looked a lot better than the Batman. I think the Batman, I like the way it looks, but without the actual like panels on its like shoulders and the panels onto the sides and stuff, it's not really New 52. It's just deco that way. Like the Flash actually has the raised symbol and he has the lines in them and stuff. But I think Aquaman and Batman are the least New 52 looking figures there.
Aquaman looked better in person. I didn't really like the way Cyborg looked. I think they needed to add a little more bulk on that Buck, a little more.
Yeah, I agree. He looked a little anime.
It was I mean, I don't I have a lot of fucking time on my hands. Let's all be perfectly honest. We all know this. And I watched Shartimus Prime's walkthrough with the DC Collectibles guys, and they said a lot of cool stuff. They said that they are going to revisit the articulation, that they do plan on making the heads look up so that the flying characters can look up. They said they do plan on messing with the thighs and stuff like that. They do plan on fixing things, but another thing Emiya told me too that they didn't say in the video that really pissed me off, was that they said for that static figure they're getting rid of the coat because they don't have enough money, so they wanted to just not give them the coat. And I don't know if anybody here knows Static Shock, but if you know Static Shock, he needs to have the fucking coat.
Don't worry about it, Rick, because you know where they're releasing accessory packs.
Yeah, Emiya actually asked them that, and they said that it's not planned, but I guess that it could happen in the future.
If they tool the coat, there's a good chance you'll end up with the coat.
Yeah, I hope so, man. It's a huge omission. I love Static Shock. That's my favorite superhero. And when Emiya told me they fucking got the jacket, I was just like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? What kind of foolish stuff is this? You can charge more for the figure. I don't fucking care, but why would you take out something so important?
Yeah, I don't see the point in that either.
It's like, you know what? It's like, our Batman did have a cape, but we had to spend a little bit more money, so we took out the cape. But it's cool though. You'll still like it. Yeah, like what kind of shit? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, man. It's just ridiculous. I was really happy at first. Like I said, I saw the walkthrough, and they said that they were gonna fix a lot of things, that they were gonna look to listen more about what we wanted for the Icons line. And then Emiya go ahead and tells me that they're gonna get rid of the coat because it costs too much. Oh, it's just it sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, man. I think that if any line I have like faith in, or should I say any company, is DC Collectibles. I mean, they take a lot of pride in their shit, though, man. I mean, they're trying. They fuck up a lot. I tell you that. I mean, it's so much DC Collectible shit I should have I could have bought if they would have done it right. But I mean, they're pretty good, man. They're trying to like keep things comic accurate and faithful to the source material and shit, man. I don't think you really have to worry too much about it.
But how
Yeah.
do you feel about the upgraded price point on those DC Films figures? I mean, they're saying they're going to rival imports. What do we feel about that?
I don't know if that's true at all, man.
I mean, but you gotta realize it could. I mean, man, some of that shit they have, man. DC Collectibles has the power to do a lot of shit, man.
There's no question. There's no question when you look at those figures and you look at the joints, they do have what I like to call mimic joints. They do mimic the Revel Tech and the Figma style of a joint. So there could possibly be a lot of range and a lot of movement with them.
When I spoke with them, they basically said that that's pretty much their answer to like stuff like Play Arts Kai and that stuff. So obviously it was made with that intention.
Yeah, they look like copy joints. Like the joints even, they look just like copies.
Yeah,
But I do wonder how much the sculpt of the rest of the figure is going to stop the range of those joints. Is my only worry. So far they look good. I can't say anything bad about it because if I like Figma joints and I like Rebel Tech joints, well then there should be no reason why I wouldn't like those either.
Well, I'm going to buy the Batman, so we'll find out with that. I mean, I'll take the chance on
both
him.
Batman.
You said what?
Both Batmans?
I'm going to buy the Batman from the Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, both of them.
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, you gotta realize the armor suit.
Close it.
I mean, that thing. I have to see what it actually does in the movie. I'm pretty sure Superman is going to tear that damn thing off of him quickly. So I don't know. But I will definitely buy the
Regular.
So what else you saw at Toy Fair that looked good?
I really liked, the Mezco 112 offerings look really, really nice.
Oh yeah, that was great.
You know what? They look much better in person. I will say that, and I will say that the Punisher. I'm pretty sure that the consensus is that everybody thought the Punisher looked good no matter what. It looked great in person, and the Green Arrow figure looked fucking amazing in person.
Yeah, that Green Arrow. When they first showed it, that's the first thing I said. That Green Arrow is gonna be crazy.
That's why I said it's the best. It's probably about the best buy for your money.
But you know what? I'm thinking about it. I was kind of like not fucking with them at first, but I'm thinking that if they do like a complete Justice League in that format, then I might go for that at the very least, because the Green Lantern figure looked. I mean, I'm sorry, the Green Arrow figure looked really, really good, man.
Yeah, I'm basically doing the same thing as far as DC goes. I'm just doing Justice League. There's no way I can live without what's gonna come from it, because that Green Arrow so far looks incredible.
Right.
You know what I'm waiting for? Black Adam.
Black Adam? Ooh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Because see, I looked at the Shazam. I'm like, but if they release a nice Black Adam, it's gonna force your hand for Shazam.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
You know what? The Shazam looked great, but it didn't really remind me of Shazam for whatever reason.
You know what?
Interesting.
It's just very classic-y, while the rest of them, I mean, other than Superman, some of the other ones look a little more modernized, so it's kind of crazy that, their Superman and their Captain Marvel look very classic, but, the Arrow and stuff like that, they all look, a little more modern.
Yeah, Flash looks pretty classic as far as the bodysuit goes, but when it comes to the feet and the helmet, they're a little more stylized, modern.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that Shazam, actually, because I've been rewatching Young Justice since they put it on Netflix, and he's so fucking funny on that show, and so I've got a soft spot for Captain Marvel.
I gotta rewatch that, man. I'm gonna do that this week, because I'm hearing that they're saying that if people are watching it, then they'll consider doing another season. I don't know how true that is.
The voice actor of Aqualad said that Netflix told them if the numbers are good, that they will fund a season 3.
And what's crazy about it is because me and my son sat down. Boog mentioned the Super Bowl or whatever. What he watched the game, whatever. And I was watching it with my kid, and I was like, "This shit is boring." And we just watched Young Justice. We ended up watching both seasons all over again. Not that night, obviously, but we just finished season 2, and I mean, that cartoon was fucking great.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
So
It
it's
was-
actually the cartoons that sell those figures more for me too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. You know, it's I hope that the numbers are good. So far, the Aqualad voice actor said that the numbers are looking really good, and to ask us to keep it up because it looks like a lot of people are definitely rewatching. So
So there you have it. At home, if you never watched Young Justice, this is a great opportunity to watch it. It's a fucking amazing show. And if you have, watch that shit again.
Hey, speaking of which, I hope Collectibles gives us a Black Beetle.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
oh shit, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Black Beetle was a fucking beast.
Yeah.
That dude was a
Well,
fucking monster.
the other Mezco 112s I was really fond of were the Star Trek ones, but I got a soft spot for Star Trek in general.
I'm gonna buy
Probably in
Spock.
the past.
You know what? I thought about it too. I thought about getting them for my dad as a gift or whatever, because he fucking loved Star Trek when it was coming on regularly and shit. So I thought about.
Greg got an early sample of the Spock, right?
Yeah. I saw it when I was at his crib a couple weeks ago. I actually the day after he left the Mezco event, I went over to his crib. A bunch of us went over there, and I got a chance to fuck around with it. It's a nice figure. I mean, it's really.
Hey, Boog, they didn't give you one?
Huh?
They didn't give you one?
I didn't go to Mezco.
Oh, okay. I thought everyone that got the tour got one.
Yeah. No, I wasn't there. I didn't go.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a nice figure. It's the head sculpt that's the major draw of the figure, obviously. But you know, it is very nice.
Oh yeah, there's some impressive stuff, man.
I wasn't going to invest into the Star Trek thing because Star Trek really wasn't my shit. But just looking at them, that Kirk and that Spock look amazing, man.
Yeah, they look good. The likeness is spot on, no question about it.
I think the only thing bad about the Mezco figures for me, I just feel that the clothing, the fabric that they're using could be better.
I agree.
You could see like the stitch lines and stuff. I think the stitching has to be finer. When
Well, you can see the stitch lines in the Star Trek stuff for sure. Like that's accurate to the cartoon animated. What I'm talking about, the fucking TV series.
You could see it on Captain America's pants, stuff like that. Just the fabric could definitely be better. A lot of people generally compare the Mezco stuff to 3A 112 scale stuff. I think 3A stuff just looks a lot better, just speaking just the fabric. Of course, you know, they have a lot more experience. They've been around a lot longer. Mezco's just really started doing this. I think at some point it'll be fine-tuned and the stuff will be better.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, I would say the figures are pretty nice. The only bad thing I would say right now, besides the fabric, and again, it has to do with the fabric, I think the fitting can also be better. I mean, I'm someone that I collect a lot of high-end stuff, so I'm very picky about how it's fitted onto the figure. I think some of the figures and stuff is just a little too baggy. It's not. It kind of takes away the illusion of the scale for me. But definitely the fabric is the big thing. If the fabric was of I won't necessarily say better quality, but is a different material that looks better in 112 scale, where you don't, you know, see the stitching as much. Speaking of the lines, you know, and it doesn't look as much like so cottony. It looks a little too cottony especially on Captain America, where you don't. I never imagined Captain America's running around with sweatpants, and that's the feeling I get when I look at that figure. I think.
But, you know,
Yeah, they do look a little baggy on them.
But I think that the trade-off is the fact that, like with Hot Toys, the clothing is really nice, but a lot of that shit can't hold a pose.
Well, I think the other thing is for Hot Toys, the number one thing, the reason they don't hold a pose is because I think the main reason is because they don't prioritize articulation.
Right.
Hot
But
Toys.
I think what he's saying is that the suits are a little more starchy. Like the clothing on that feels a little more starchy, and it's a little more rigid to pose. Even like it's fighting against the articulation sometimes.
Right. That's what I mean. I mean, if Masco's trying to pretty much make a figure with real clothing, but at the same time keep it where the articulation is functional.
The 3A stuff is pretty articulated, and that stuff looks clothing-wise, looks way better than the Mezco stuff.
Yeah, but we haven't really seen 3A do anything close to like a superhero suit at all, really, have we? Besides like that.
Right.
Judge Death.
You say what now?
Judge Death. The Judge Death.
Judge Death does look really good next to the Mezco Dread.
You know what? I haven't. You know
like
something?
it
I still haven't paid attention to that figure. I haven't seen that figure.
Yeah, I think the Judge Death, that has a kind of a tight outfit and stuff. I think it's actually done a bit. I mean, it's a little bit cheating because it's black, and black. That's why Punisher looks so good because he's wearing black. You know, for a character like Captain America, especially the lighter colored one, it looks very apparent because when it's lighter color, you can see a lot more. But when it's black, it's a little more cheating, I guess. So that could also have a lot to do with it as well. But just in general, I mean, I think it's something that will be fine-tuned as it goes on. I think aside from that, I think the figures in general, look very good. I mean, they're trying to go for the more high-end, market. So that's why that's the feeling I got, which is why when you went to the Mezco move this year, there was almost no focus on their $20 things. It was all focused on that. It seems like the company just more or less decided, the reason we're probably not getting more Mortal Kombat figures and things like that because they want to distance themselves away from that type of product and focus mainly on this 112 line, which is more high end.
Speaking of which, what you thought about those Storm Collectibles stuff?
You're asking me?
Anybody?
I like the classic outfits for Mortal Kombat better because that's what I grew up with, and so I think they're pretty conducive. That line is very conducive to that kind of outfit.
I didn't like the Scorpion as Sub-Zero. I didn't like those costumes at all. But I did the Goro looked nice. I liked him, and I was loving M. Bison and Ryu. I'm really happy to see M. Bison anyway, man. I like M. Bison a lot. So
yeah, Vega. I call him Vega because I go by Jack.
We don't care that you call him Vega. It's M. Bison.
Okay, well, Dictator looks really good. My only concern about the Street Fighter line right now, and again, like the Mortal Kombat line, we've been seeing those prototypes for a while, and the Mortal Kombat figures aren't even out yet. And the Street Fighter ones, now they're showing us the Street Fighter ones. My only concern is just mostly how far they'll go with the character selection. Are they going to get past the A-list characters? And I just don't know. I mean, at that price point, I just don't know if anyone would be interested in dropping $70 or $80 on T-Hawk. Or, I mean, there will be some people, but I just don't think there will be a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of wondering right now where that line's how far that line's gonna go.
How tall are they?
You worry about the, it's not naturally you worry about having, the Play Arts Kai syndrome where we got, those like 6 or 7 characters and then we didn't get
anything. It's like every company's like that. It's
every company.
After Soda, pretty much anyone who's done anything has only done like 2 or 3 characters, or like if they get like the Square Enix, they only get like 6 or 7 characters. They say they're 112, but personally, when I look at them, they look more like 110 scale to me. That's just my opinion. They look more.
Yeah, they looked big in the pictures. They look big in the pictures.
They're more.
I don't know. They did. I agree. They did look a little larger.
Because when I think 112 scale, I think the true 112 scale, which is like SH Figure Arts and Figma, stuff like that, and they are definitely bigger than that. For sure, like definitely bigger than Figma.
Yeah, they seemed like they were bigger than the Mezco stuff. It seemed like it was.
Yeah, definitely.
I was thinking they were more like 10 inches and shit when I was looking at them.
No. They're more like the 7-inch scale.
Probably like 110 scale.
Yeah,
that's not bad though, man.
My main concern right now is just the character selection. It's awesome that we're getting, Dictator, and when you get Ryu, you're always going to get Ryu, Goki, and you're going to get those no matter what, always. And obviously we'll get Chun-Li. We'll probably get some of the other characters they're focusing on for Street Fighter V because they're only focusing on Street Fighter V. So, hopefully we'll get a decent amount of characters. My main concern is just if this Storm Collectibles, I mean, they've only really released a couple products so far. I know the Mike Tyson 1/6 scale just came out. And my only concern is that hopefully it doesn't end up like a lot of these other companies that just kind of pop up but they don't actually have any money. I mean, I'm assuming Mike Tyson's supposed to pay for production on Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat's supposed to come out. Mortal Kombat is supposed to pay for Street Fighter. You get what I'm saying? So you have these companies that don't have a ton of capital to work with, and hopefully, that's not the case here. And you don't want it to end up like another Play Imaginative.
Oh, God.
Speaking of which, Emiya, how much is the Play Imaginative Hulk Buster? What do you think that's going to cost?
Retail
How
price.
much?
It's not going to be called Play Imaginative anymore. The company that
Well,
bought out those Abu
okay.
Dhabi guys from Comic Cave,
Comic Cave.
their Hulkbuster is going to be $400. And I'll be honest, I didn't get to handle it too much because the one that was on display was a prototype. But if they do keep that $400 price tag, I'll actually consider for the 112 scale, that's definitely the best one, for sure.
Now, Emiya, you're coming through really staticky, so you might have to
Right, I
refresh
didn't
the
hear
chat.
anything you said.
Hold on, let me refresh.
Yeah, I saw the Comic K Play Imaginative, whatever, the Hulkbuster. It didn't really it wasn't trash, but it didn't knock my socks off. It looked a little, it looked a little, I want to say dull. But I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It could just, it actually might come across as a nice kind of semi-weathered look on it when it's done. But I don't know. It didn't knock my socks off for whatever reason, and especially not for $400.
It looked kind of gimmicky. Like, I think it's relying on the Iron Man inside gimmick that it's got going.
You know what?
Right.
People kept asking if the Iron Man, the full Iron Man, could fit in there, and no, it's just flips up to reveal that upper chest and head of the Mark 43 Iron Man, so people know. But yeah, I think we gotta move on now. Let's talk about Deadpool. Deadpool movie. Everybody saw the Deadpool movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Opening night.
So, well, what'd you think of it, Boog?
I thought it was great, man. I went in with low expectations, honestly. So I thought it was great. I thought it was raw. I thought it was, it was sort of a weird feeling seeing that movie and thinking that you're so accustomed to seeing a PG-13 comic-based movie and shit, and then you're seeing like crazy violence and sex and mad cursing, and it's just like, whoa, like this shit is raw. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of get lost in it for a moment, and I thought that aspect of it was great. Definitely not a movie for kids, and I definitely like to see them explore the Deadpool universe more. I thought it was a fun ass movie that anybody could enjoy. You know what I'm saying? I went with my girl on Valentine's Day. We saw that, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, my girl, I don't usually take her opinion because she liked Sabretooth from the X-Men Origin, so, but she liked it a lot. I mean, I loved it. I mean, I didn't think that I was gonna like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think the only thing that bothered me it was little shit, man. Like when I was telling Walton, well, when Walton brought it up was how like Colossus didn't weigh down the cab. That's just like nitpicking.
Yeah. I mean, he did a little bit though. It wasn't probably. It probably should have been more though. Like the back probably should have been dragging on the floor, but he did weigh it down a bit though.
But I mean, you would have thought that. I mean, and like I was telling my girl too, like he never powered down.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I would have liked to see him power down.
So I mean, but for the most part though, man, I think that it was really good, man. Especially it made me like that the guy Ajax.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like him in the transporter at all, so I didn't really want to ever see him again anyway. And then it made me actually like him and shit. Like
he played in something else too. He was in what the fuck else did he play in? Who knows?
I don't know, but yeah, it was.
Oh, you know what? He was in Game of Thrones.
I've never watched Game of Thrones, so
he was the dude in the season when Daenerys was kind of coming to power. He was the one that killed the other generals from the Second Sons, and then they recasted him in the next season.
Oh, that's probably why I don't remember him. The reason that they never showed a powered down Colossus was that the actor for Colossus was in a motion capture suit, and not just that, but he's kind of fat.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I'm assuming that, like, without having to CGI his fat off, they were just like, no, we're not going to show this.
They could have just used a different dude and swapped out the.
Or even if they would show like from angles where you wouldn't look at the body, like when he was in the cab, he could have been powered down. His kid still been big, like slurping this Slurpee or whatever the fuck it was he was drinking and shit.
I like that they had a supporting cast for Deadpool though. Like that was very smart on their part to add in Colossus and the chick. That was genius.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be interesting to do now that it was so big. what the budget is going to be like for the next one and what they are able to do.
Got to give them more money, no question about it, because
Oh yeah.
that wasn't a super expensive film.
No,
No,
it
that's
was
part
a
of the reason
very
why they
low
didn't
budget.
have as many like action sequences as people were like probably expecting. Like people wanted balls to the wall action, but they didn't have like
It was
sequence after
very
action sequence.
it was very low budget, and they ended up being the biggest rated R opening of all time.
You know what? Even with that though, like his suit was fucking money. Whoever
Right. Right. The suit was fucking dope, man.
whoever designed the suit, the way it looked when he was moving, everything, like it did not look budget at all. Like the shit was amazing.
Right.
I think they missed their
that's why it
shot
turns into,
with
like,
3D
spectacle.
too.
What's that?
I said I think they missed their shot by not putting it in 3D because a lot of that shit could have really like
That's
did
true.
some great 3D.
Yeah, and they could get a lot more money like that too.
Yeah, I thought it was really great too. I mean, the casting. Ryan Reynolds been trying to get this fucking movie off the ground for like nearly 10 years, and I'm glad it finally worked for him, and he's gonna have a bright future after this. Not that he already didn't. He's fucking Ryan Reynolds, but as far as like giving him the reins and letting him just take the ball and go with it, I think they're gonna have more faith in him now, and I hope the sequels don't get too much studio interference either.
Who y'all want to see play Cable?
Stephen Lang. That's the only right answer. Yeah,
Nope.
he wants it. He wants it.
Who's that?
I would have went with Ray Stevenson.
What's the name from Avatar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want John Hamm. Give
John
me
Hamm would be good too, yeah. I agree with that.
Who's John Hamm?
From Mad Men.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could see that. I
want John Hamm. I wish Ron Perlman wasn't so old, man. He'd be number one.
You know what? Yo, John Hamm reminds me a lot of Jesse Falcon for some reason.
I know what you mean. That like kind of like arrogant, but like not a terrible arrogant or anything like that, but like a very very likable arrogance.
Yeah, it's very similar. Their mannerisms and their demeanor and shit like that. It's funny.
I don't know, man. I'd rather see Stevenson do it.
Ray Stevenson, yeah. He could be good.
Yeah,
I feel like the first dude you mentioned, Lang, I feel like he's a little short though, right?
Yeah, maybe a little, but
I think he's a little old.
He made a post, I think, on Twitter. He's like, I want to be Cable or whatever. And he's like, this was pre-training, and he's flexing, and he's already looking like, for a small guy, he's still cut, he's still big, but
I just hope that they don't.
stature-wise, yeah.
I just hope that they're not considering Kevin Nash. I love big sex. Let's keep it real. You're not fucking Cable. You're a terrible actor.
Kevin Nash's height on one of these other guys on Lang or fucking the dude from Mad Men or some shit.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well,
That's
Kevin
not
Nash is always going to be the Russian to me from the original Punisher, the second Punisher movie, I guess.
He's also gonna always be the person that was called a hooker on Grandma's Boy.
All right. You're a hooker.
And he looks like he's about to beat his ass. Like, what the fuck did he just say
I
to
forgot
me?
about that, yeah.
Grandma's Boy is great.
Yeah, I do wish that, as far as like the X-Men universe, though, I do wish that the studio will take some notes on how well this movie did too, because like something as simple as like the costume that Negasonic Teenage Warhead was wearing, that was like an on-point X-Men costume. I wish we'd see something like that in the regular X-Men movies.
Oh man, it just goes to show. It just goes to show that colorful outfits, they don't have to be cheesy when they're done right. Because she looked fucking great.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if whoever was in doing the wardrobe for that movie got some type of accolade or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, they killed it.
Colossus still had a very like Bryan Singer-ish costume, but I think it worked. It was okay. I don't want to have the big puffy knee pads either and the big epaulettes.
That was a big moment though when she burned out of her coat and stuff to even see her in that.
Yeah, exactly.
It was incredible. We've never seen yellow. We've never seen yellow.
We had it in First Class a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but
First Class. They were in fucking flight simulator suits or some dumb shit.
Right.
You know, man, one of the best scenes in the movie is when fucking Colossus throws up.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
No, I love how I think just Deadpool's dialogue was on point. I don't know who like wrote the script or whatever, but they nailed the character. And I'm sure maybe Ryan Reynolds did a little ad-libbing here and there, but some of the fourth wall breaking comments are just so perfect. Like when Colossus is like, all right, well, we're gonna take you to Professor X, Stewart or McAvoy. I fucking died.
Wait a minute, Stewart or McAvoy?
Patrick Stewart or Or James McAvoy.
I just like the fact that he referenced the fact that every time he comes to the house, they were the only two X-Men in the fucking house every time. Like,
What, the studio couldn't afford more X-Men? That kind of thing.
Hey, because as soon as he said it, I was thinking it. I was like, he just hangs out with Warhead all the time. That's that's the oddest combination of X-Men.
And they get free reign of the jet whenever.
Right, Colossus flying the jet. Has Colossus ever flown the jet?
I don't think I can remember ever seeing Colossus fly the jet in the comics.
Yeah, that was kind of weird for me when I seen him flying the jet. I was like, really?
You know, I mean, in the comics, the jet's got so many features and shit. He ain't got to fly that shit at all.
Right,
That's
true.
Right. Yo, Rich El Sinestro just sent me a message. He says Thomas Jane for Cable.
Who's that?
No.
The Punisher from the 04
The second
movie.
Punisher. After Dolph Lundgren's movie, technically we would call it the first Marvel Studios Punisher.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. The guy who just wants his kids back.
Right.
I just want my kids back.
I just want my family.
I don't know.
Yeah, I could see them coming out of left with somebody that a total like no name person.
I wouldn't pick Thomas Jane, but he wouldn't be a bad. Like if they did Thomas Jane, I wouldn't be like up in arms about it.
Honestly, I think Thomas Jane should still be the Punisher. That's an unpopular opinion. I
agree. Well,
oh, okay, good. Because me and my homie Kenji got into it for a little bit about that, and he's like, "What, are you crazy? No, Thomas Jane's not the Punisher." I'm like, dude, I grew up with that movie though. That's 04. I was just an up and comer, and that was my first Punisher.
He made that Punisher mini movie himself, and it was great.
Right. Dirty Laundry.
Obviously, a lot like Ryan Reynolds, just an actor who has been plagued by terrible writing and it's taken out on him. But I think he's a good actor. He did that mini movie himself, and it was great. So I trust the guy. I don't mind him being Punisher at all.
I don't know.
I think he should still be the Punisher in this Daredevil series in season 2. I think he would make a really good Punisher still. I mean, I don't know how old he is now, but I think he captured the character well back then, even though he was in a pretty terribly written movie in a lot of ways.
Thomas Jane was not tough at all. Thomas Jane did not give me grit. I didn't see the anger. I didn't see shit from Thomas Jane. Thomas Jane literally hung a dude by a fucking chain and was tapping his stomach with popsicles.
That happened in the comics.
I don't care. That shit, just what he was doing and him sitting back there like, your flesh is gonna burn off. Right, okay, Punisher. Like he could have, like that's not the Punisher to me. He just, when I was so happy to see Ray Stevens as the Punisher, it wasn't funny. And as far-fetched as that movie was, he still, at least I knew he was angry.
Yeah, he definitely captured the look a lot. But as far as the acting chops, I think Thomas Jane, in my opinion, still did a good job, even though, again, he wasn't in the best written movie. But would you really prefer the Shane from The Walking Dead? I'm going to take a shot every time in Daredevil season 2. He turns his head and he's like, "Come here, let me ask you something."
You're gonna have to wait and see what. I mean, who in the fuck would have thought Heath Ledger would have been able to pull off a Joker?
Right.
You don't know until they give him the character and tell them, okay, bring it to life. He might actually be really good. I mean, think about it, man. Who would have thought the chick who played what's the show that just Netflix just had? I can't think.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. I would have thought she could actually be Jessica Jones. Look at the dude that played Luke Cage. I was against him 100%. He did pretty good.
No question.
Like, so I mean, you just gotta wait it out. I mean, I understand where you're coming from because I was on the fence like about Leto, and the more I see him now as Joker, I think he's gonna be good. Will Smith even looks okay as fucking Deadshot. So I mean,
you mean we're some sort of Suicide Squad?
Yeah. Let Shane go ahead and take a shot at the Punisher.
We're a little over time. We're running into Walking Dead. We had to do a little shorter episode this week, so I guess we're gonna save some of the Q&A if we have any questions for next week. But anybody want to plug anything before we get out of here? Obviously, we got Photo Combat kicking off in another week or so. So if you didn't sign up for Photo Combat yet, you should definitely do that. I think we probably have like maybe 20 slots left open, so you should probably get on that as soon as possible. And obviously follow us on Instagram at Articulated Comic Book Art. Like us on Facebook. Join us on Facebook in our group. Anybody else got anything they want to plug?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I announced my 1,000 followers giveaway on Instagram, and so I already did the random selection for the winner. So I'm just gonna announce it real quick. I just lost his name. His name was like Toysology or something like that.
Oh, okay, I know that cat.
Yeah, I think he posted in the group, right?
Yeah, I think he's a young dude.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm pretty sure that's the dude who checked Chartemus on his picture a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Wait, let me find him. Where did he go? Oh, okay, yeah. So his name is Toyzology, Toyzology. Congratulations, you have won $50 Amazon gift card. So hit me up, PM, DM, CM Punk, anything. You get your prize.
That's what's up. Yeah, he's a good kid, man.
Yeah, and I hope you'll spend that money on like a light box or something, because he's definitely got the potential to take it to a new level.
No doubt. I'm with you there.
What about you, Pharaoh? You got something you want to plug?
Not at all.
Emiya? Hello? Japanese?
Emiya, I got some dudes out by your way I used to, run the streets with, and I'm gonna have them come see you if you don't send my motherfucking horses this week.
Yeah.
Dang, you selected those horses?
But yeah, next week, man, we getting back into the swing of things. Next week we'll be back, obviously, same bad time, same bad channel. Until next time, I hope y'all enjoy The Walking Dead. We talk to y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.